What is up, everybody? It is Midwest Raider fans coming at you with another video for our channel today. I'm really excited. I'm stoked. We had a victory Monday. On Monday, we did beat those Patriots. We're going to go over some stats, some gameplay, some recap, and also the game preview for the Chargers coming up as well. So I am stoked, super excited. You will notice that we are Midwest Raider fans, but you're missing Jimmy today. And unfortunately, the guy's had a bad year. A lot of things coming up with family and himself health-wise, and so I'm not going to put his business out there, but just please say get well Jimmy in the comments. That would be really helpful, and hopefully I really appreciate him, one of my best friends in the world, and I just want to see him back in the studio so we can get back to making some videos for you guys as well. But you just got me today, but I'm going to try to keep it positive, high amperage, and keep it going, guys. We got to keep the show going. So thank you guys so much for tuning in. Please like, subscribe, share, all those good things, and just please help us raise our channel. We're just amongst a big community of YouTube Raider fans, and we just want to jump in there with them and have some fun, and also bring you some news, stats, and give you our opinions. So awesome. All right, so Raiders, Pats, guys, it was a different kind of game. I just want to talk about the game in general, and then we'll talk about the stats and all that kind of stuff, the crazy headlines. But let me know out there, I just got to know from all the Raider Nation, if you guys finally felt like this game was a breath of fresh air, where we weren't like nervous. I didn't have like sweat profusely going on my face. I wasn't like eating my nails. I wasn't tapping my toes. I felt confident at the end of this game that we're going to pull this off, and we're going to do it convincingly. Now, the score doesn't reflect that as 2013, but you know, we were kind of up in this game. They were ahead at halftime. It was looking kind of crazy, but I still felt confident. I just hoped that we could actually make the changes that we needed to, that we haven't been able to do in the past, and also finish games, which we haven't done in the past as well. So, I was a little worried, but in the second half, we really came out, and like the defense gelled a little bit better. The offense came out really fast, which check our videos. We said you got to come out fast against these guys, and we did as well. You know, definitely splashed, hey, this is what the Raiders going to be doing this year, and boom, punched them in the mouth. That's what you got to do. Come out in these games, punch them in the mouth, and make them feel a little bit low. And then just take advantage of it. You just keep building and building and building. So every day we got to punch them in the mouth and come out strong, come out fast, and keep going. And that's kind of what we did in this game. And so it was really impressive to see. So that's definitely coaching, and the players accepting the coaching, and then the players out there playing and doing what they need to do. It just all the phases fixed together, and it's looking okay, guys. Now I know it's early, game one. Now, you know, maybe I'm drinking the Kool-Aid, but that's what it looked like. And so as long as we can continue that into the future, I'm super excited. So let's go ahead and get into the stats in this game. And first talk about that man of the hour, Geno Smith. Looked really, really good. Like I said, came out with a chip on his shoulder. Just felt like he had to win this game. It looked like he was determined. And he was throwing some really good passes. Hit Tucker quick right away, which will be talked about a little bit later as well. But the 362 passing yards, and currently second in the NFL, in the entire NFL, under Josh Allen. Who would have thought that? Even after the first game, like no one was expecting the Raiders to put up a game like that. Now, it wasn't fantastic, but it was in the rain. It was away. It was an away game, so we were at some other people's stadiums. There was a lot of expectations for the Patriots as well, with all their coaching changes and all their team changes. And so we had the same thing, all the team changes and things like that with coaches. And then we had to battle at New England, and we came out victorious in the rain. It was a rain game. It was raining that whole game, and we passed for 362 yards, which is crazy. I thought this was going to be a run game on both sides, trying to pound the ball, especially Josh McDaniels definitely did try to run on us, but we looked pretty good in the front. And so it was very different kind of game plan than I thought, especially with the amount of passing we did. But like I said, Geno Smith came out with a chip on his shoulder and definitely delivered. So very, very cool there. All right, so I will talk about this here in a little bit later, but we do see the LA Chargers here coming up. And number 3 in passing is Herbert, who also came out with a chip on his shoulder against those Chiefs and got it done. So it's going to be interesting on that preview when I talk about that here in just a little bit. So the next headline is Brock Bowers. Brock Bowers did look pretty good in this game, had a couple catches, all those things, but did get hit towards the sideline and had a knee injury. Now, on the sideline, I think he said that he wanted to come back and play, but the team kind of kept him out just to prevent further injury, which I am totally for. We have a great backup with Michael, actually our starter last year as well, and in past years. Back strong, looking fantastic. Thank you so much, Michael, for being who you are. We call you Rudy here in the Midwest because you came out of Notre Dame. So every time you catch a ball, we're screaming, Rudy, Rudy. We're taking it out for you, Mr. Notre Dame himself. And he was looking good. He really could be the first string. I know Brock Bowers here. He's awesome, but I think Michael can definitely do it too. So I was not worried about that. I still knew we had a strong tight end, catch balls, and do the blocking that he needs to do as well. So very, very cool. So we had 389 total yards. Our run game was a little bit lacking. Our offensive line was doing good with their pass blocking, but not really propelling the run game. And in this game, I really thought that was going to be very, very important because we have Genty back there, and I thought we were just going to be pounding that rock and wearing down that defense until we could do everything else. But instead, we kind of reversed it, and we were doing a lot of passes, throwing a little bit of runs occasionally, but really concentrating on the pass in the rain, which was a weird strategy, but it definitely worked. So no, not talking about coaching or anything, because I think everything worked together very, very well. Right, so let's go into the stats just really quick. 24 for 34, 362 yards. He had a touchdown, and, he was looking really good this game. He did throw one interception, but it was kind of a tip. I don't know what he's talking about that. It was kind of a tip ball. It wasn't really his fault, and, they made a play on it. Genty had 19 attempts for only 38 yards, which is only 2 yards a carry, but did get in the end zone later in the game when it meant something that they were able to push enough. But it was really more Genty with kind of going off tackle a little bit and getting in the end zone, which I love. Keep it up. Find the holes and get to them. That's what I want you to do. Like I said, Geno Smith also ran a little bit. Zamir White ran a little bit. But yeah, and him breaking tackles and the actual line blocking for him, it was more him putting in the work. So I was really kind of disappointed with our run push, but we did pass block pretty good. So I definitely made up for it, but we were passing a lot, in my opinion, in this game. Brock Bowers, like I said, still, even with his injury, had 100 yards in this game, even with his injury, but they did keep him out after those 5 catches. Jacoby Myers almost had a 100-yard game as well, so 2 players with almost a 100-yard day, which is fantastic. 8 catches. Myers, thank you for not holding out. Hopefully we get this guy paid. We get him extended. He is a really good receiver and can be that number 1 guy, in my opinion. Despite of what all the world says, or the naysayers, or all the analysts out there, that Jacoby Myers is not a number 1 receiver, I think he really can be. It's just proven in the stats. Tucker had 54 yards with 2 great catches. One was for the touchdown, which was awesome. Thornton came in clutch at the end of this game, catching a really good ball that got us a first down and kind of sealed the game for us. So even when I was a little bit worried, we were making plays. And like I said, we just haven't been able to finish like that. And it was a fantastic feeling. Like I said, Michael Mayer, 4 catches, 38 yards, looking good. One was a long one for 12 yards. And then Genty also caught out of the backfield as well. Talk about the defense as well. Was, Devin White had a really good game, 11 tackles. And, I know I talked smack about some of the linebackers that we picked up that had been released from different teams, and they're a little bit older, they're veterans, and like I said, hopefully these guys are emerging again. I've never seen it, but like I said, keep proving me wrong, and I think these guys are looking good. But once again, I think Roberts went out injured this game, and so watch that depth, guys, because we don't have a lot of depth, in my opinion, when it comes to linebackers, and so injuries are going to be a really terrible thing for us this year if we start getting everybody injured, and the depth behind everybody is just hopefully it doesn't happen. But still, Devin White, man, props to you. Thanks for coming out, and I hope you can do that every game for 17 games. Kelly Pratt, Isaiah Palamala looked good. 7 tackles, 2 assists, 1 interception, which was fantastic. This guy is becoming a really star player in the NFL, and I love it that he's doing it with the Raiders. So props to him, looking very, very good. Isaiah Stokes. Kuntz got a sack today. Butler looked good. Now, we didn't get a lot of sacks today, but it was enough pressure. I think we got 2 sacks that we got to him. Also, we kind of got another tuck rule almost. There was 2 different times where he kind of got his hand hit and the ball came out. Now, one was definitely a forward pass, but one, like, he was going back and the ball literally just flew backwards. So how that was a forward pass, I don't know. Leave in the comments what you guys think about that play too. Hopefully I can find a little clip and put it in there to remind you, but that was definitely a fumble, and I don't understand. Even with the motion, the ball flew backwards, so it just didn't make any sense. So I think we got hosed on that call too. But Jamal Adams also was a baller. I know he only had 3 tackles, but he was a very big presence in the line. And of course, special teams. So I love Dylan Lauby's energy at the end of this game. Looks like he's a really big part of the team, being very, very motivational, which is cool. Like I said, we didn't know if he would make the team, but I'm excited that he is. I think he is a big part of special teams and doing punt returns and things like that. He is looking pretty decent. So I am happy. Props to him, and continue the work. Tucker Racing looked good. Very important. Carlson was 2 for 3. He did miss 1, which could have made it 23-13. Right at halftime, and it was a really good time management, and offense looked good to get the ball, get down a play. So we had like 3 seconds left at the end before halftime to be able to get that field goal in. And of course he did pull it, but it was like 50-yarder, so it was a little bit long in the rain, those types of things. And so it happens, but it would have been nice for us to make that and make it a really solid win at 23-13, but it is what it is. So woo, got through that. Definitely a lot of things to get in. But it was a really good game, guys. And I've really seen everybody compete. The team was starting to gel, especially in that second half. I was a little worried. We started off fast, kind of slowed down, kind of was from like the old familiar Raiders. And then, man, we punched it in the mouth and we finished the game, which we haven't been able to do. You know, we closed the door, we shut the door, and we were able to keep them from coming back. And the defense made a big part of that, which I was a little worried about. But it's going to be a bigger test here coming up. So some of the headlines today, Brock Bowers, it is Wednesday, so this is the first day they are practicing. But this video is made a little early, so I don't know if that'll be released today. But if it is, I'll put a little title to see what they say about Brock Bowers. But they did say it was a non-factor kind of at that game. But a lot of other people have said, ooh, it could look like a MCL sprain or those types of things. It could be a little bit more serious than we thought. We won't know till today to see what they're going to do about Brock Bowers because he is questionable. In my opinion, he said in a little interview, Brock Bowers himself said that he was okay and he planned to play in the next game. But we'll see what happens. So a little worried about, cross my fingers on Brock Bowers, hope he comes back. But at the same time, I hope he's injury-free and he is able to be 100 or even 90% before they let him come back. So just because, like I said, we are good with Michael Mayer, in my opinion, until Brock can come back. Make sure he's good enough to go. I don't want to see him even aggravate it worse and then, something terrible happens and we don't have him at all. So let's get him healthy and then have him come back. The last time the Raiders beat the Patriots at home, it was 1994 in Week 6. Jeff Hostetler was the quarterback, which is my boy. I got a little bobblehead over here of him. But Art Shell was the coach, and we also had Tim Brown on the team as well. So that was a long time ago. I might have aged myself a little bit there, but it's been a while, 1994, guys. So it was really good to beat the Patriots. I love it when we do that. That's one of my teams that I loathe because of past history. All right, guys, so let that segue into the Raider Way play of the game, which I'm going to give to Geno Smith to Trey Tucker. It really set the standard for the game and said, hey, we're going to punch you in the mouth, we're going to score first, and we are going to take it to you this game. And Although we didn't finish that in the first half, we did finish that in the second half with some really key plays, some good strikes, and some good hustle. So we did take care of business in the end, which we haven't been able to do in a long time, is finish a game all the way through with our foot on the pedal. Got that done, and I was super excited to see that. And that's why I believe in the coaching, I believe in the players, and I think we can put this together this year. And I don't know how many wins, but we're going to get some wins this year, so it's looking really good. Really positive. So let's segue that into the Monday Night Football, Raiders versus the LA Chargers. Or actually the LA Chargers versus the Raiders, because they're coming to our house at the good old Death Star in the black hole. So I'm super excited. It really is going to be the first time that we're battling for number one position in the AFC in a long time. And so it's a big game. It is really a big game. We're going to really see what the Raiders are. Are we what we were, or are we moving on to this new generation with Pete Carroll and the way he's carrying this team? Now, it is going to start with a battle between coaches, between Pete Carroll and Jim Harbaugh, and you guys all heard the stats. Pete Carroll does have a little bit of wins over him, whether that be in college or the NFL, 6-5, and that does help us. But, he's got a pretty good team over there with those Chargers. And Justin Herbert looked like he had a chip on his shoulder, just like Geno Smith did. Came out flying, came out throwing a lot of touchdowns. He had 3 touchdowns, 318 yards. Was really hooking it up against those Chiefs. Also, their defense played well. They only allowed 21 points. They kept the Chiefs for 5 for 14 on third down. So it was really turned out by the defense. So it's going to be a good challenge for our team. Had 2 sacks last week, but they had 8 hurries, and so they really kept Mahomes under pressure. Hopefully we can do that against them a little bit more. We did have some hurries, but we didn't have a lot of sacks. Geno Smith actually got sacked a lot last week, and so I'm a little scared that Khalil Mack might have a game again. He has great games against the Raiders, unfortunately, and so can we block Khalil Mack and the rest of their players? Also, some key features is they have a really good receiving core. They have Johnson, Allen, who caught a touchdown in that Chiefs game, McConkey, and Conklin, their tight end. Some other things to think about is their running back, Hampton. He's also a rookie running back, going to be battling Janty. They both didn't have a fantastic start. He only had 48 yards. I think Janty only had 38 yards. So we really need to get a push from our offensive line to be able to produce for us to get some more runs. I think the offensive line can do better. They did really good in pass protection, in my opinion, so kudos to them for the pass protect, even though Geno got sacked 4 times. But it was a lot better than some of the run scheming, so hopefully we can open up some lanes and get this going against the Chargers, which will be tough because, I got a really good defense as well. So it is what it is on that. So like I said, coaching is going to be a key thing. Hopefully we can have that chess match and we can overcome. Also make good adjustments in the second half like we did against the Patriots. And it's going to be a shootout, so hopefully we can bend but not break. I'm okay with that. Other than that, guys, I think that's all I got for the preview and some of my keys. I really think we can win this game 24-20. I think we're going to score some touchdowns. I think they're going to score some touchdowns. It's going to be close. It's going to come down to a field goal at the end because these games usually do, especially against division rivals. But we're going to come out on top and be 2-0 and also be the number 1 team in the AFC West, which would be crazy. So hopefully that can happen. If you guys think I'm crazy, please leave that in the comments. Please like, subscribe, share, all that good stuff. That's all I got for you today, guys. And please put a shout out to Jimmy to get well and get back in the studio. Thanks for tuning in. It's been Midwest Raider again, and we are the Midwest Raider fans. Please like, subscribe, and share. And we can't wait to see you on our next video. And as always, go Raiders!